Now, could the Conservatives win over first-time buyers in a pre-election giveaway? Well, Rishi Sunak's party is reportedly set to promise to cut the upfront cost of a home for wannabe homeowners in a bid to lure younger voters. Also, according to reports, a resurrected Help to Buy scheme could also be on the table in 2024. Sounds like great news. Well, we're joined now by Nightmare Tenants presenter and landlord Paul Champlina. Thanks for joining us, Paul. I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas. These all seem like great ideas. There's huge barriers, particularly to younger people now being able to buy their own homes because of the cost, because of demand, because of the huge deposit costs. So this sounds like a great idea, but how would it work?
Well, firstly, as we say, there's an election coming up, Martin, and obviously the Conservatives are looking for the younger voter. And a recent poll, 11% of 24 to 49-year-olds said they'd support the Conservatives, compared to 43% over 65. So they're looking to obviously try and bring some sort of incentive in. If you look at the Help to Buy scheme, Martin, which came in in 2013, they actually approved about 372,000 loans. That bill to the Help to Buy scheme has actually now ended as of this year. So they've been looking at possibly stamp duty concessions, longer mortgages, or bringing Help to Buy, because obviously being a first-time buyer is very, very challenging. I mean, the average deposit, Martin, alone in London to find is £125,000.
Yeah, and what's really interesting about this, Paul, is they do this kind of scheme in America, this longer loan, 30-year loans, which are underwritten by the government in case of default. And what's interesting, Paul, is that the UK seems particularly addicted to short-term products, 2, 3, 4, 5-year fixed terms. So perhaps there's some common sense, Paul, in going for a longer period, which means you need a less of a deposit at the front end.
Well, that's right. I mean, under Help to Buy, currently, or just coming to an end, you'd have to find the 5%, and obviously the government would obviously help up to 40% of the equity loan. A longer term fixed mortgage for first-time buyers makes total sense. The reality is, obviously, coming out of a year ago, I think it's almost a year ago, from when Liz Truss was in charge, and obviously the rates went through the roof. I think historically everyone had short memories, didn't they, Martin? Because, of course, we had 0% interest rates, and people had it good for too long. The reality is, next year, 2024, 2 million people are coming out of their fixed term. So it makes sense. I think, obviously, they are looking now for products of under 4% coming in for fixed term for 5 years, which will help. There has been good news, obviously, because inflation's now at 3.9%. I mean, last month, 4.6%, and a year ago, 10%. So there is some positives. But, yeah, getting first-time buyers on the market, which accounts for about 52% of the new build market.
And, Paul, briefly, if we could, will any of this make any difference? Because, ostensibly, we have a problem of supply. And if we increase demand through easier access like this, will it actually just make the project worse?
Well, I mean, there was an argument to say that when Help to Buy came in, developers were inflating their prices. Of course, we have a chronic housing shortage. You've talked about it many times on your programme and on the station. The reality is we need, and I know Gove has been saying about this recently with regard to planning and relaxing planning laws, and obviously taking it out of local authorities' hands. We need more and more housing. The reality is we have a social housing crisis as well, and we've got over 70 million people in this country. And it's the same old argument. Every political party that comes in says we're going to build 300,000 properties a year. It never happens.
OK, superb stuff. Thanks for joining us, the presenter of Nightmare Tenants and landlord Paul Champlina. Great stuff, and you have a great Christmas period. What's left of it. Happy New Year. Thank you.